Hello and welcome back to TFR eSports Season 25. Here we are once again for the F2 division here at the Hungarian for round 9 of 15, our final F2 race of 2025. I am your commentator, CJH, joined by my usual co-commentator, the two-time F1 TFR eSports champion, Epic the Animal. How are we doing, Epic? Or shall I say Logan? I don't know why I could say Epic the Animal every time, because I just call you Logan anyway in the stream. But are you all set for Christmas? I have to ask. I asked Cam and F3, so I've got to ask you as well.
I mean, after 3 Christmas parties in the last 2 days, I am ready for the actual Christmas. I am ready to race here today, and I'm ready to watch some F2. I'm sure we're going to be in for another certified banger. Like
Absolutely.
always.
Absolutely. He's a party animal. You've heard it here first. 3 Christmas parties on the trot is not one for the faint-hearted. But at the minute, this circuit is
the animal for a reason.
Exactly. This circuit is not one for the faint-hearted, because at the minute it's Sluskern on pole position from nowhere with about 2.5 minutes to go of the session. That Gulf Williams is looking set for pole once again, just like an F3 with Ladanes. Sluskern is doing a fantastic job at the minute. He had a great recovery in Silverstone. Actually going for another lap here, I believe. I think he's actually backed off now, so we'll pull away from that. But a Ruthless Guy back in the mix tonight, and he obviously served an engine penalty last week in Silverstone and struggled quite badly. Komanek has got the engine penalty tonight. It's not a great track to have that penalty, Logan, and he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it's on paper not a great track to have it, but especially in F2 where there's more of a skill gap. If you can skill gap people on this track, if he does have the pace of like Ruthless Guy and Sluskern, then I do think he's going to be able to make a lot of inroads here, especially if we got a lot of mistakes by the midfield drivers, a track where it is easy to make mistakes, or bad strategy calls. If he makes a good strategy call and can avoid a lot of traffic, I still think he can be in at a track like this in this division if he has the pace to come up the field and even fight for a podium possibly.
Absolutely. It could be something definitely to watch in the race, but we've got a very close championship battle at the minute. Only 7 points separate the top 3 in the Drivers' Championship. It's currently Komanek, top of the standings, with GG right behind him, with then this man here, Stats Collector, right in the mix as well. A Ruthless Guy, only about 20-odd points behind as well in 4th. He needs a big race tonight to get himself back in the mix. We've got 6 rounds after this, and you can be absolutely sure it's going to go right down to the wire. Tax Collector comes up to line then, pops himself up into P3. Not a bad lap, Logan. 4 tenths off the pace, though, and that'll be him done for qualifying.
Yeah, just like that, that's him done for qualifying. He's in the mix for that championship fight. And McLaren in the fight for constructors, and they're looking pretty decent as things stand, but we got Sluskern on a lap. He's going to be able to set one more lap and try to improve even further. But pretty even field spread. You know, just a tenth or two between each driver all the way back through the field. But from the front to the back of the field, there's, about a 2-second gap. So it's pretty interesting spread we got here. And Sluskern is purple through sector 1.
He's on a flyer. He's on an absolute flyer.
Time's
but so
about
too.
To expire here.
Exactly. Time is about to expire, and it's going to be GG who will be the first to hit the line. Where is he going to go? On the front row. Just under a tenth off. He beats his teammate then, so not a bad session so far for the Sauber pair. Harriman back tonight in the Aston Martin. Only 8th. Who else is next to hit the line? I think that might be Shocker, yeah, also back tonight in 9th, reserving for Alpine tonight. Is that Sluskern coming around the final corner? It is indeed. Here he is. He's on a flyer. He's been absolutely on it so far. Is he going to extend that advantage? Yes, he does. 3 tenths then to GG. Can anyone beat that?
I don't know. It's going to be tough to beat that. Nepatau is out of qualifying. I think he may have retired on track.
I think he's just hit 10th.
Arthur's up. Yeah, Arthur's up half a second through the first 2 sectors, so he can jump up the order quite a bit.
Here he comes.
Puts the rest of this lap together.
Oh.
Just gains 1 spot.
And meanwhile, Temp
picked
up and a 5 place grid penalty. I think he's clattered into Nepatau And that is the drama that has gone on there at the end of that session. But Sluskin, with his first ever pole position in TFR eSports, with a stonking lap there, 3 tenths clear of the rest, and I don't think anyone probably expected that, Logan.
No, definitely no one expected it. I didn't expect it. Great qualifying by Sauber, second and third. And yeah, 15-7, nothing to laugh at there. And he's looking mighty quick here, but we'll see if that setup holds up in the race.
Well, as we saw in F3, there's a lot of emphasis on the start here. It's a long run to that first corner, but Sluskin, if he can repeat what his fellow Williams driver in the F3 division, Ledanes, did, then he is looking very, very good here. Where this has come from, I'm not quite sure, but you do see this sometimes, Logan, where some people, they are a bit of a specialist at certain tracks.
Yeah, you do see that sometimes, especially here in F2, where we have many different winners at many different tracks. And time again, we see someone and we're like, well, they're dominant now. And then the next week they show up and then they're not good at all. So you just never know what you're going to get in F2 and F3. And Sluskin to surprise so far today, and we'll see if he can capitalize on this pole position. Other than him, it's a pretty even field spread.
Yeah.
Kind of falls off after P10, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these setups hold up in the race and what strategies they go for.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's going to be a fascinating race. The 2 Saubers right behind Sluskin, then, they've got a real strategic advantage with both of them out there. But as we've seen before, Logan, those 2 Saubers, they don't necessarily work together very well because they're both in the fight for the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, and it might hurt them as well that they're so close together on track when it comes to pit strategy as well. They don't get to pit on the same lap if they're close on track. So that could cause issues for them.
Well, here we go. It's going to be a fascinating start to this race. The strategy, it should be a fairly simple medium to hard tire or hard tire to medium, but safety cars could also play a factor. We didn't see any in F3, but it was quite low numbers there, so expect the unexpected. The start of the race in F3 had an almighty shunt at the back, so something like that could also happen. We're expecting dry conditions throughout, and as the drivers get their final adjustments made to their setup, it's again a very long wait here until they head to the grid. We've got the 2 Red Bulls right at the very back as well. They've got a lot of work to do. Let's see then what is going to happen here in this final race in 2025. We're underway, not a long wait then with the lights, and someone's got an absolute stormer in the background. I think that was a McLaren or someone that got a great jump, and look at that, the 2 Saubers either side of the Williams into the first corner. There goes GG then into the lead ahead of Sluskin. Now he's had a slide on the exit. They've hit each other and they're both in the wall. What an awful start for Sluskin and Tax Collector. Unless that was a bit of lag, they were both off and they're only just getting going now, Logan.
Yeah, the 2 front runners are now off. Pretty much, I don't want to say out of this race, but their races are destroyed now. Codematic already up to 12th because of that. And Sauber 1 and 2, and we're not even halfway through the first lap.
Yeah, a dramatic start then. We got Paul Fern now off as well, facing the wrong way. He's had a moment there, and just about the McLaren misses him there, and so too does his teammate. But dream start then for the 2 Saubers. Alfie as well had an absolute stormer there, up into 3rd place now, and he will be certainly one to watch. He showed decent pace in the F3 race, didn't win that race, bear in mind, but at the minute he is right up there challenging these 2 Saubers.
Yeah, he always seems to come alive here in F2 after getting some practice in F3, and every single driver starting the race on medium tires.
Yeah,
look at the start by Williams. 14th and 15th now, Williams are.
Awful start for them.
They're going to have to box for damage, and Paul Fern almost spins again.
So they all stay pretty much in the same order. However, Temp has a little look to the inside on Shocker into that first corner, and he is going to get the move done here. Shocker's going to try and hang it on, though, up the inside, and he'll have a more favourable line here, but Temp sweeps into him and completely spins off Shocker there, and, well, you can be absolutely sure the Alpine will probably be reporting that one later because there was no space given at all.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see it, but I did see him go around in the background, and both Williams pit, and they lose more time double stacking. They're going to need a safety car to bring themselves back in this race because those hard tires are not going to make it to the end.
Absolutely. So Lap 2 then, the order is still fairly the same. Oh, Major didn't mention this in qualifying. There is AJ Curtis in that white Red Bull, the beautiful looking livery from obviously the in real life Japanese GP. It's not going too well for him though, because he's the driver that's getting distanced from the top 9. The top 9 all within a second of each other here. Absolutely nose to tail. And GG is at the front of the queue here, and you can be absolutely guaranteeing here, Logan, that a Ruthless Guy will be having a little go into this first corner.
Yeah, he might. He's gaining, but I don't know if he's gaining quick enough. Oh, yeah, he definitely is. Here we go.
And there he goes. Oh, has a little look. Can't quite get it done there, although gets a sweet exit. DRS then wide open, but he's not quite able to get close enough into this corner. And GG hangs on for now. So Spark then, wheel to wheel with Haraberman. Oh, and they touch tires, and that's pushed the McLaren off the circuit. Haraberman in 5th, and his teammate Arthur moves up into 6th. Aston Martin rock bottom of the constructors' standings, and at the minute, they are on for a decent result. Arthur obviously had a podium last week, but got disqualified for not serving his qualifying penalty, and so they've got a lot of work to do in that constructors fight, Logan, but at the minute Aston Martin run quite nicely here.
Yeah, they're looking to move up the order and get ahead of the RB team, which is not here today, which is just shocking to see, as they've been the pinnacle of attendance all season long.
Absolutely. I'm shocked they're actually not bottom of the constructors, but fair play to them. They're not at the bottom. It is Aston Martin. And Aston Martin, though, are looking at some decent points for now. But GG is looking at a lot of pressure coming from a Ruthless Guy, because a Ruthless Guy is that bit closer this time around. And as we saw in F3, a lot of recharge in that middle sector to try and just deploy all the battery down these two main straights here. But a Ruthless Guy is that bit closer, and he is going to have a little look to the inside. Couldn't quite get it done. There was a little bit of moving under braking from GG there. And a Ruthless Guy will have to have another go. And has a great exit, though. And he will have a little look to the inside now, to the outside on his teammate. They get oh so close in the braking zone, but GG hangs on for now.
Yeah, and the Aston Martin switch spots in the background. Arthur is able to get around Haraberman, and that fight is, that train is getting real close as Ollie Bean gets himself a penalty already. Oh, Codematic almost loses it over the curb. Haraberman's gone wide, so Sir Sparks he hits him up into the grass. Ah, there goes Step. Oh, there's cars everywhere. Through goes Codematic.
Oh, and there's more contact.
Suspend. Now Codematic's up to 7th from last.
What on earth happened there? That was absolute chaos. And there's a move up the road, because that is a Ruthless Guy getting passed by Alfie. He must have had a mistake there, because he's dropped a heap ton of time to his teammate. But a Ruthless Guy, though, hangs on. However, now he's got his mirrors full of everyone behind him. So a Ruthless Guy with a costly error there. I'm going to take a guess that it was in that quick right-hander, and they'll be all over him down this start finish straight. And there's Ollie Bean as well.
Yeah, and Temp goes off in the background. He's down in the 12th, and he just took out Nepatal on purpose and crashed himself out of the race.
And as that happens, Alfie goes up into 2nd. We've got Ollie Bean off in the background as well, as we've got a VSC. So all of that kicking off as the VSC was deployed there. Alfie did get the move done up into 2nd, but you reckon that was a straight line from Temp there?
Absolutely. 100%.
Well, that is not what we want to see. And
safety car?
It is indeed. But that is crazy. Yeah. From Temp, I think now. I didn't quite catch it myself. There he goes. And we got a drive-through penalty for Shocker as we go green again. And there's 3 drive-through penalties. Tats Collector, who's in championship contention, having a miserable race so far, also has a drive-through penalty down in 10th. Haraberman as well in 6th has a drive-through penalty. So costly errors there. And we've seen that so many times, Logan, this season.
Yeah, I'm not even surprised anymore. Like, my heart rate did not increase 1 BPM seeing those. It is just that. It's just been that type of year. It's just been that type of life. It's that kind of world at this point. Come on, boys, get it together.
So GG there, not having the greatest restart. Alfie absolutely getting a move on, getting that gap down to only 1.2, make that now 1.3 to GG. A Ruthless Guy did manage to keep the DRS to the Haas, so he is still there in the mix. Arthur now is filling his mirrors, with Ollie Bean recovering after that spin under the VSC. He's reserving full Ferrari tonight, and he's putting in a pretty decent showing so far, the F3 driver. But only lap 6 of 25 here. I mean, I was going to say, you think it's going to start to settle down here, Logan, but I don't think that's going to happen for quite a few laps just yet.
Do you just ask if it's going to settle down in F2? That is the second dumbest thing I have heard in the commentary booth all year. Number one was when a specific track that's super easy to overtake on is apparently difficult to overtake on.
Now, I swear I didn't say that. Did I say that?
No, you did not.
No, I was going to say.
It was Ewan. I love you, brother, but that wasn't your brightest moment.
Well, you'd think this track usually isn't the easiest to overtake on. However, so far we have seen quite a bit of action here, and it is now Alfie starting to become a little bit of a cork in the bottle here, as he's lost about a second to GG on this lap. Bit of a better exit out of that corner though, and a Ruthless Guy will have to clear this Haas immediately if he wants to get after his teammate for the win here. He's not quite close enough, and look at that, Ollie Bean right on the tail of Arthur into this first corner, unable to make the move just yet. But this is the problem now for Ruthless Guy. Oh,
contact in the back. Sir Spark got into the back of Codematic under braking. No position change and no visible damage, but a little bit of a moment there. Codematic almost got around Haberman, and Sir Spark was just a little bit too late on the brakes. Just a little friendly bump in the butt. But Codematic on track right now. What, Haberman has a drive-through, right?
Yes, yes.
And then Ollie Bean has a 3-second time penalty. So on track right now, Codematic is actually P5 in 7 laps. Not a bad start from the back of the grid at Hungary.
Absolutely. And once he clears a couple of them cars, and if he'll be hoping they dive in the pits, not too far off, as Nepatal has now found the barrier himself. He's got the car going again, though, but has significant damage on that front wing. There's a move there from Ruthless Guy, or he had a little look on Alfie, and Ruthless Guy, he has to do this, Logan, like ASAP. He's lost another second to his teammate. Alfie is just charging the battery up like he did in F3, and then just chucking it all down the straights, making it so difficult to get past. So a Ruthless Guy needs this move pronto.
Yeah, he does, and his teammate even said in the chat before the race that he feels like he's kind of a Hungary specialist. It's his best track. So he's proven it here. I mean, a little misfortune for Slusker involved, but he's doing a great job out front right now. And this DRS kind of train holdup of Alfie is really benefiting him in this race if it stays green long term. He can almost not worry about undercuts and just keep running his pace because he is breaking away 10th to every sector.
But you can see it there. You can see Alfie there really recharge the battery as they were coming up the hill. They get close, but you just can't really overtake at this part of the circuit.
Arthur's
however,
so close.
Yeah.
This guy. Oh, he touches him in the butt. Gets him loose. Oh, he touches his butt again.
He's getting close. For a Ruthless Guy's comfort there. And
I don't know how much closer he can get.
Yeah. But a Ruthless Guy, I don't know what he could do here. I mean, they've not lost any time this lap, but if you're GG, this is the dream scenario here, because you can just control your pace out front, manage your tires a little bit, and then react to what anyone else does, because he's got that buffer of if anyone tries the undercut, he's got the time to react to them, Logan.
Yep. Now, he did only gain a 10th this lap, but he is holding on to a little bit more ERS than Alfie is, so using about 30% less ERS that lap and still gaining, well, now 2/10. Not a bad result, as Nipatal's got around AJ Curtis. AJ Curtis had a moment in the penultimate corner. Yeah, so Nipatal moves himself up to P9 after unfortunately getting slammed into by Tem.
I tell you, AJ Curtis is right back at him here and goes to the outside of Nepatal, and we'll have the DRS for stick straight. And
gets loose on the exit though. It is so easy to get loose there, but good driving by AJ there to keep it clean and try to sniff a move back at Nepatal. Look at the gap between Haribo-Man and Sir Spark, 14.4. Well, I guess Haribo-Man did serve that drive-through.
Yeah. And
So we basically have a top 7 at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that has allowed Comanic to get into a bit of clean air now. And you can see him in the distance there catching. We've got a spinner. That is Shocker, who has spun at the very back. So, yeah, we've got 2 races going on here because... Oh, and that looked like someone's coming in, and he is. A Ruthless Guy comes in. A late call then to dive in the pits. Oh, has a big old slide coming in, though, and gets on the grass, gets it nice and slowed down. But a Ruthless Guy and Codemanic, interestingly, behind, both pulling the trigger here, Logan.
Yeah, I like it. He thinks he's quicker than Alfie. Undercut him. Hopefully get out in some clean air and make it happen. He's probably going to come out. It's going to be close with Haribo-Man. Haribo-Man's going to get him here, actually, CJ. But it does look like he's going to have clean air behind him. So if he doesn't get held up by Haribo-Man this lap, it looks like he just might.
Yeah, he probably would have.
Pace, he might be able to still get that undercut done. 3.8 now, that gap to GG. Half a second a lap in the last 2 laps.
Oh, Comanic there potentially gets a vital move. Yes, he does. Clears the Ferrari early on. And that is big for his race as well, because if he got stuck behind Nepatal there with a broken front wing, that would have been seriously costly for his hopes of trying to make this undercut work. A Ruthless Guy's already stuck behind Haribo-Man here, and the undercut is quite powerful around here. Again, saw that in F3, and there he goes. A mistake then from Haribo-Man. That releases a Ruthless Guy here to get his foot down and try and make the most of this, because, like I say, the undercut can gain you heaps of time if you can make it work. Arthur also dives in the pits then. He's reacting to a Ruthless Guy. Obviously, GG still comfortable out front. But those F3 drivers of Alfie and Ollie, well, Alfie is F2 in his own right, with no disrespect to him, but they might get caught out here. They're going to get a 2-lap undercut done on them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to get caught out here, but they will have pressure tires by about 4% a lap.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be enough, though.
I tell you, this...
The pace we've seen by the guy that undercut him. Oh, yeah, Aston Martin's touching.
Yeah, they made contact there into the first corner, which, I mean, come on, guys, completely different races right now, the pair of you on. I mean, if you're Adrian Newey watching this right now, you'd be absolutely screaming at the TV just to swap the positions, and there he goes. That is a sensible thing to do there, because now Haribo-Man is in the way of Comanic as well and can help his teammates just solidify that position. But I think for Ollie Bean and Alfie here, they could be in a little bit of bother here, Logan.
Yeah, most definitely they are. Especially Ollie Bean with that 3-second time penalty. So if he's a part of DRS train coming into the race, he's just going to drop positions. But yeah, smart for the Aston Martins to eventually switch. Codematic getting head up a little bit here. So we got a caution sector 3. That's
it's in the pits.
Oh, is it?
It's Ollie Bean. He's spun in going into the pit lane. I think it was a bit of a half spin. He got it going again. But it must have been something significant for it to bring out the yellow flag. And there goes, Haribo-Man off the circuit. So there's these two coming out the pits. Look at the gap to a Ruthless Guy who sets the fastest lap of the race by quite some distance, I would imagine. And, well, yeah, by about 6 tenths. Alfie then just comes out ahead of Codematic, but behind Arthur. And that just shows, Logan, how much time he's lost.
Yeah, and he's lost 1.5 seconds to Arthur as well. What, close to 5 seconds to, or 4.5 seconds to a Ruthless Guy who was behind him. I
think a Ruthless Guy could, dare I say it, as someone's unspent. That's Nepatal. Yeah. I think a Ruthless Guy could take the lead here. I think GG, he's extending the strategy on those mediums, but I think he's going to put himself in a bit of bother here. The gap right now is only 16 seconds. I'm absolutely sure I think a Ruthless Guy will take the lead here.
I am 80% sure.
Oh, and there's a move. That's Alfie on.
What happened?
Keeping in here, Arthur there having a right old wobble, I think, and has dropped behind Alfie and now has Codematic right on his tail. So there goes a Ruthless Guy onto lap 13, and quite a way. into the lead. There's his teammate exiting the pits, and he'll be keeping an eye on Alfie here because Alfie might just have right around the outside on GG, and they're going to get over. So then they're probably touched as well, but there goes Alfie. And I have to say, Logan, GG there. I know he's got a few extra laps of tyres, but surely that was not the right thing to extend that much.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't know what more to say.
I mean,
strategy calls 101. Don't let them undercut you by 3 laps.
He had like 4 seconds over the rest of the pack, all the time in the world to react to that, and his teammate was like the first car to pit, and in the end, his teammate is 5.5 seconds up the road and in the lead of this race. Yes, he will have much better tyres come the end of this race, Logan, but I just think that is absolutely nuts. I mean, if anyone watched the F3 race, I don't mean to keep referring to it, it's a slam dunker to get on the tyres early and get your track position.
Yeah, and they just, I don't know, see, they just didn't do it.
Well,
they just didn't care about track position. Komatic got the 5th, though.
He is.
The back of the grid.
He is indeed. And, well, let's see then. How is this going to play out then with this chasing pack now after GG? And there goes the move then from GG up the inside. He gets a time penalty. He can't quite get the move done and gets a penalty for good measure. And when he was looking like this race was under control, he is throwing this away. The man who's been on such a good run of form and on the podium for the last 4 races. He's won 3 of the last 4 races, never mind. And at the minute in this race, he was looking all good for the win, but it is slipping away and going into this final third here.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Codematic has properly caught this group now, and the rest of the field seems spread out, so this is kind of the pack we're looking at right now. Only drivers within DRS of each other, and we got a 4-way DRS train.
Yeah. So a ruthless guy extending out that gap. I say it again, Alfie is hands down the most annoying driver, with the greatest respect to him, on the track of all divisions tonight. He's doing exactly what he did in the previous race, where he gets the track position, charges the battery up in the middle in the first sector, and then just absolutely bolts down the straight. It just makes it super difficult to get in front of him, and it's just losing all these guys more and more time. If you can get ahead of him, you're on an absolute winner. But if you're stuck behind him, he's literally like Fernando Alonso in 2021.
Yeah, and it's holding up everyone else as well. It's holding up Arthur, and it's really holding up Codematic.
Yeah.
Suskern's only up to P8 after the incident in the first sector of the race. And, yeah, it doesn't seem like too much else going on at the moment, but anything can happen here in F2. And I expect it to.
It has just hit a little bit of a breather at the minute, and I know we said about the race not settling down earlier. I think the race has settled down a little bit right now, because unless someone can get past this Haas, which GG is trying to do, and he's done it. He's done it. And an unorthodox corner there. He's still wheel-to-wheel with Alfie, and he'll have the better line for this next corner. But GG there, absolutely sending it. He'll have the better line, actually. He's got great traction there, and he'll have the run in this final corner. They've got to watch out for Arthur behind if they're not too careful. They're still wheel-to-wheel, and GG has got the job done. That was vital.
Yes, it was, but he's basically out of battery. But he has the DRS for this straight as well. That could save him.
Alfie's still there, though. Look at him. He's still there. I mean, the straight line speed on that Haas is a joke. It's an absolute joke. I mean, how on earth, even with DRS there, GG just could not... I mean, he's still coming back at him now, up the hill. He's not going to be close enough. But Alfie will probably just have to settle down now and then defend hard, or even maybe stay with GG here because of the penalty that Sauber's got. But fair play, though, to the Irishman. He got it done in the end, Logan, and it needed an overtake in a bit of a bizarre corner, really.
Yeah, it took advantage of a not quick middle sector. Able to get the job done. We'll have to keep an eye on that gap to the leader to see if he really makes inroads on his
Yeah.
teammate. But Sauber's 1-2, which is just great for their constructors standings, because Red Bull and McLaren, the other two teams currently fighting them for that top spot.
Yeah, and they're in second and third, and the gap was about 20 points, I think, going into this race. Sauber having not the greatest result in Britain compared to their usual high standards, but they are coming back into play here. And I tell you, Alfie is coming back into the mix here because he's got the DRS once again. Doesn't go for the move into the first corner, but gets oh so close to GG. And if he gets a sweet exit here, which he has got a pretty good one, he might have a little think. Not quite. He's too far back for now, but he is hanging on quite nicely. And these guys are almost dropping Arthur now out of the DRS. It's right on the cusp of the 1 second. And I tell you, if Arthur gets out of that DRS, Logan, it's only been gets another penalty, then we might see a bit of a split in this group here, and they may be able to get off into the distance.
Yeah, it seems like Maddox almost struggling to keep up at this point. But Ollie Bean's only 2 seconds behind him, and Sir Sparks right behind him now. We could see more position changes on track here yet, even in green flag running. Well, no safety cars bringing the group together. Yeah. But a safety car would be hype.
It's weird. I'm surprised there's not been more safety cars or more DNFs, to be honest, at a track like this. You'd think it would be a bit of a magnet for it, but as Alfie has a big moment there, and he'll still have DRS just, but that there is the mistake starting to creep in, and, well, he won't want much more then. Look at that in the background, though. We've got Sir Spark now right on the tail of Ollie Bean. Ollie Bean doing a stellar job. Actually holding off his fellow McLaren driver, actually, but in the division above. So Sparks got a better exit, though, that time around, and will get the job done on Ollie Bean. Sweet move there, right around the outside, and he is on his way then to hunt down after the others, but he as well does obviously have a penalty here. Kodmatic is dropping off quite badly, actually, here now, Logan. You're right, he's out of DRS. Is that maybe the tyres starting to play a bit of a difference? I mean, how are the hard tyres around this track?
I mean, they're pretty good, but about 4% wear a lap. But I just don't think he has the pace that we've seen from our championship contender on this track. I mean, he's still done a great job to get up to 5th from the back of the grid, but we'll have to see what happens. Arthur's very close to Alfie here now.
Yes, indeed. And Alfie is well and truly out of DRS now, and he might just be in trouble here from Arthur. Arthur driving a stellar race. He's hunting down after that podium, and he could have got it last week, and he might just get it tonight, because there he is having a little go. Alfie sends it down the inside. Alfie defends hard and forces the Aston Martin to switch back to the outside. Gets a decent exit though, and we'll have to try it again, but Alfie just gets an absolute launch out of that first corner, and nobody really has been able to get anywhere near him going into turn 2, and at the minute he stays ahead. Kobanek coming back into play now because these two starting to scrap. That is the thing, Logan, isn't it? We see drivers starting to fight quite hard as Ollie Bean gets another penalty. And it just allows others to start to close back up just when they were drifting away before.
Yeah, exactly that. Also, that gap up front, it has shrunk, but not at the rate that will be necessary for GG to fight for this win at this point. Kind of threw this one away. Definitely threw this one away, but anything can still happen yet. And 1-2 for Sauber is still great for constructors.
Absolutely. And to be honest, the longer Alfie is in that third place for GG, the better, because that gap is over 3 seconds at the minute. I think GG probably well and truly accepts here that the second place is his best result he's going to get out of this one, and he's got to think of the bigger picture, because he will move into the championship lead with this current result, and Sauber will well and truly extend their Constructors' Championship. He'll want the win, Logan, but I guess in some sense you have to just accept what you've got at some points and figure the bigger picture for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Always got to think of the big picture. But yeah, he threw this one away, CJ. There's no other way about it. He was up front. He was the quickest in the race. Susskern's had an unfortunate start to the race. He's stuck down in P8. Had a chance.
It shows for the F1 race later, where we're probably expecting a bit of a follow the leader kind of race, where a lot of people are very close at the beginning, how powerful and important it is to time the undercut right, getting a bit of clean air after your pit stop, and you can make quite a big difference, like what Ruthless Guy has done tonight, where, yeah, if you get those lap or two, got a yellow flag, that's Nipper out, and he's hit the wall hard, actually. Well, or he's maybe... Yeah, he has. He's got front wing damage, gets the car back around, but we're getting no safety car for that. And the queue of cars behind Alfie here grows even larger because we've got Sir Spark and Ollie Bean now right behind him. And it's just an absolute train, isn't it, Logan?
Yep, the Alfie train is back here again. Just another tier up. Maybe he'll sub in an F1 and do it there, too.
Yeah. All aboard the Alfie train, because he's doing a great job, though, to be fair. He could be on for a podium here, which, I need to check the stats, could be his first in F2. Yeah, it will be his first ever in the F2 division. Oh, has a big snap there, though. Doesn't want too many of those. And we'll just need to keep it on the circuit. But like I say, this part of the lap, he's just saving that battery up. There goes Shocker on AJ Curtis for P11. And, well, do you see the podium just staying how it is at the minute, Logan? I mean, Arthur had a little go, but he's not able to make the move again here.
I don't think he's going to be able to get him. He's using way more battery than Alfie.
Yeah. This is the thing. And, well, Alfie then, he just keeps that gap just at the right range every single time for this straight. And it's Sir Spark, actually, in 6th, who's looking likely of trying something here, because he's right on the tail of Code Manic, and he might just have a little think about it, but he's not quite close enough. I feel like I've said that 100 times over in this race, but that is the story of this F2 Hungarian GP. A lot of drivers, they've not quite been close enough in this one, Logan.
No, they haven't, and actually, Ruthless Guy is quicker now than his teammate. Yeah, he has a time penalty, but he's really putting the foot down on this one. Cruising out front since the pit stops and having himself a good race. He went from just worrying about Alfie to now just walking into a win.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people saying in the chat, Alfie to F2 confirmed. He's already in F2. Show some respect to him. He's been in F2 all season. He's not quite been at the very top of the order, but tonight, though, he is looking at a first ever podium in the F2 division in these 2 seasons here. And you have to say, I mean, he's got this down perfectly in terms of how to, do a race at this circuit. Because, with no disrespect to him, he didn't exactly have pole position pace or anything like that. But in the race, he just knows exactly where to get that battery up and then where to use it.
Yeah, battery management is very important in the modern F1 games, and he's just the one doing it right.
And there goes to Spark down the inside on Code Manic. And Code Manic lost DRS, must have had a little moment, and there goes to Spark. Despite having that penalty, he is now up into 5th, and Code Manic will be really hoping he can just keep his pace up here on a slightly older tyre. He does not want to drop any time because at the minute it's damage limitations for his race, Logan. After taking that engine penalty in qualifying, a P5 finish is still very much on the cards, but that is what it has to be in terms of the way Sauber are going in this race.
Yeah, and Arthur just using way more battery than Alfie, just using it in the wrong spots, and that's what's killing him.
Oh, as Comanic gets so wide there in the background, really is starting to struggle a bit here, and needs to be very careful he doesn't get a penalty. If he gets a penalty, then he will just drop needless points, really, in this very, very close Drivers' Championship. Alfie, then, is about to head on the penultimate lap. Arthur is a tiny bit closer, but is he going to be close enough? I don't think so. You can see there, looking back with Alfie, he is just not close enough going into the brakes. I mean, if anyone looks like making a move right now, it's Sir Spark. He's actually really starting to put Arthur now under pressure. But I don't know, what can Arthur do here, Logan? I mean, I feel like he's tried most things, but he's not really had a proper go at him yet, it feels.
Well, he hasn't tried proper battery management. I would try that out.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this!
Oh, and there's a move down the inside from Arthur. A mistake there from Alfie right at the very end of this race. They're still side by side. Arthur's got the inside line, though, for the chicane, and there he goes. Alfie, though, still is alongside, and he might just hold off. Oh, they've touched. And Arthur's round, and just when he's looking at a podium, he's now down into 7th. He's trying to get the car back around. And, well, I wonder, Logan, if that'll go to the stewards.
Oh, it definitely will, but I don't know what the result will be. Codematic now looking good because of the penalty with Sir Spark and Ollie Bean.
I tell you, if anything kicks off here, Codematic could still be on for a podium. He could still somehow pick up a podium here. So Spark tries some Hail Mary move.
Like that.
And, yeah, well, let's see what is going to happen here. So Spark not quite close enough to try any crazy lunge. And will stay in 5th for now. Gets a not bad exit, though. But I think Alfie might be safe. We've got another spinner. That's AJ Curtis at the very back. But I think Alfie looks good now. But was that defense from him there a bit desperate on Arthur? That's what I wonder, Logan.
I don't know. I'll have to see some onboards, see what happened. But it looked like that could go either way from what I saw. But Ruthless Guy, boring end of this race for him, but in the best way possible. Just cruising to a win here in this one, CJ.
And this is what he needed. He needed this kind of result at a bit of an iffy race at Silverstone, but it's been far from that tonight. It's been total domination for a Ruthless Guy. He rounds the final corner as Sir Spark gets another time penalty further back and weaves across the line to win once again this season in F2. GG comes home to P2. He looks happy with that. And he takes the championship lead. A good 10 seconds, though, off his teammate. Alfie hangs on, and he'll be delighted with that to his first podium in the F2 division, with Codematic in 4th, Sir Spark in 5th, Ollie Bean in 6th. There's Arthur. Look at this chaos behind. Something's gone on to Arthur there because he must have a puncture or something, or
no, he's out damage. Of fuel.
He's out of fuel. Drops down to 9th. So a disaster of an end to the race for Arthur. A disaster of a day for Tax Collector, who was right in the mix for the championship, but he was just nowhere today. Down in 10th with a drive-through penalty as well. Really takes a big hit in his hopes for the driver's title. And that is your lot for F2 in 2025. Well, I mean, Sauber there, I mean, if that wasn't domination, I don't know what it is, Logan.
That's exactly what it was, CJ. They dominated. Yeah, GG kind of threw that one away, but as a team, they were the best in the race. And oh, he's wearing the reef coming to the podium. I didn't know that was a thing.
There he is. And what a drive. What a drive from a Ruthless Guy. And a good drive, well, a great drive, shall I say, from Codematic to get 4th in the end from 14th. After that qualifying penalty, 16 seconds off the race-winning pace. That is not a bad effort at all. Sauber 1-2 then for the umpteenth time this season, shall I say. Well, I say that. That's a load of rubbish, because that's the first time they've done it all season. So they've won, however, though, 5 of the last 4 races, and they are absolutely on a stormer, and I'll be shocked if they don't end up winning both championships at this rate. However, the drivers is still very close, and we will have to see in 2026 who will come out on top with that one. We'll be back for Spa in about a couple of weeks' time in the new year. And it'll be a bit of going back to the drawing board for some of the drivers, particularly Tax Collector, and, well, not necessarily Codematic. He did what he did, or he did what he could do, shall I say, Logan. But for Tax Collector, that was a bad day at the office, wasn't it?
Yeah, very bad day. Can't have mistakes like that drive through. I don't
Absolutely.
know what else to say. Can't have that when you're fighting for a championship.
In terms of the battle between the two Saubers, actually, now, where did we see all to do with strategy, you would have to say, but was Ruthless Guy genuinely quicker than GG, or was that win through that moment of mistake from GG? What do
Absolutely.
you put that with?
It was 100% the giving him the massive undercut. No other way to put it. They were close to equal in pace come the end of that race. Also, the time penalty didn't help for GG, but he really threw that one away in the pits.
Yeah, I think so. I absolutely think so because, yeah, it was a big error, and at the end of the day, it's not the worst error he's made because that keeps he still stays in the championship lead or moves into championship lead, shall I say? And yeah, with 6 rounds to go, who is your money on? As we have got a break now in the season, Logan, between the 4 at the top. Where do you see that driver's title going? I think Sauber is definitely the favourite for the constructors, but what about the drivers?
I'm still leaning towards GG. He's been so consistently quick.
Mm.
But we'll have to see. He's gonna have to battle his teammate for that. And we'll see if them battling each other kind of makes them susceptible behind in the constructors.
Absolutely. Well, we will find out then in the new year what is going to happen. We'll be back for the Belgian Grand Prix and the very beginning of January 2026. I've been CJH. He has been Epic the Animal, and we'll see you then. There we go.